7 years ago, in 1984, 4 young men, children of laid-off workers from Northampton, went outside to participate in the manifestation. Under the influence of personal triggers, the group Dissonance was formed. The photo was taken by John Berry, a childhood friend of the group members, in 1983. He had no idea that his friends will become extremely popular among the working class children in central England 3 years later. Michael Wallace, David Clark, Ryan O'Neill, Christopher Fleming. In 1986, these guys were around 20 years old. They lived in the city of Northampton, which is known as the birthplace of one of the most popular post-punk bands, Bauhaus. Their music played a significant role in Dissonance's style formation. Unlike the gothic and monotonous Bauhaus, Dissonance played dynamic and tense songs. The story of the group began in 1984, when a wave of strikes surged through central England. The protests were linked to the downsizing of miners and led to discontent and mistrust by the working class in the government. The group members were acutely aware of the worries of their parents, uncertainty about the next day, and the instability of the political situation. The failure of attempts to influence the situation caused the desire of young people to look for other ways to express their emotions over the political situation. Feeling is gone, and the picture disappears, and everything is cold now. The provocative statements that Dissonance put into their songs was enthusiastically received by listeners all over England. The titles and lines from their debut album, Smoked Minds, released in 1986, became protest symbols. Over 5 years, the group received strong support from their audience, which shared their political position. No Future is a young recording studio, which has been based in Worcestershire since 1983. The Smoked Minds design was produced under the guidance of the label, which helped the band throughout their musical career. However, the musicians insisted on leaving their original collage on the front for better reproduction of the protest spirit. Ripped paper, bold type, messy collages, rough layout. The visual language that the musicians used in the cover design was influenced by the protest posters they saw on the streets of Northampton. While working on the cover, the band members used photographs of the protests to convey an authentic atmosphere. The photograph that appeared on the front side was ripped off on purpose to highlight the distance between workers and policemen. The band felt the separation and contradiction between two social groups that caused the placements of the band and the album name on the cover. The ripped paper became a strong visual element that was clearly perceived by the audience and demonstrated the tension and negative effect on society. That symbol was later used in merchandise. Apart from the front, there was an eye-catching element on the back, a punch card from the factories filled with a track list. Due to the popularity of the first album, the label decided to release the second album a year later. 2 years after the first album release, Dissonance recorded their second album, Reborn, which wasn't so successful as their first one, but still has a number of visually engaging elements. Reborn was fully designed by the recording studio and differs by its visual simplicity. Over the last 5 years, Dissonance has released 2 albums, united people who suffered from strikes and gave them faith in a better future. Now, the band is working on their new album, which they are planning to release next year.